Sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn your notification so you are notified each time I upload. And please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I'm saying a very big shout out to every one of you for the support you all showering me here with. I am grateful, and you all are super sweet. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about what is still going on in Congo, and everybody is calling on boycotting some major countries that are also benefiting from what is going on in Congo. Because one thing that is happening is that some people are the ones enjoying the suffering of people of Congo. Children are out there working, kids that are supposed to be in school, 5 years, 6 years that should be in school, are out there working their asses off for iPhone, Teslas, and all that. And till this very moment, we are still waiting for the Westerners to address what is going on, but nothing is happening. We haven't even heard from them, but it is time we hold every one of them accountable for everything going on in Congo. Let's get into this video.
Please stop scrolling. If you care about Congo and you want to learn more, please watch this video. Congo is bleeding and we are finally hearing about it. But what we also need to understand is why it is bleeding, what has led us to where we are right now, and who is involved. My name is Annabelle, I'm an educator, and I'm here to do just that, so listen into this series. By now, we would have heard of the atrocities happening with over 2.1 million people enslaved and working in slave-like conditions every day, over a majority of which are children. But we really need to understand is that one of the reasons this is happening is due to the protracted war economy that the DRC is in the heart of. The DRC is in the Great Lakes region. It stands in the center of instability, which is described as a transnational war economy. It's a situation where wealth-seeking government officials can collaborate with rebel leaders and international Western businesses to perpetrate the illicit trading and selling and accumulation of raw material. We need to understand that all three of these parties all have an interest in the DRC. They stand to gain something by preserving the war economy that exploits Congo and its people. So, these ungoverned spaces are naturally endowed with raw minerals, and the warlords who have rose to power during the Congolese civil war and the remnants of the Rwandan genocide have unfettered access to these raw minerals, namely coltan, cobalt, uranium. They mine the minerals and trade it in the legitimate commodity market, which is booming due to the Western green economy. Because all of our businesses are trying to transition into green, they are looking for these resources. Whoever has access to these resources has power. So struggle for control in the coltan mines has been central in the conflict of Eastern Congo, which claimed over 4 million lives in the past decade. So, to put it simply, the people of Congo are dying, are being exploited due to the natural resources that their homeland has. This is due to this idea of a war economy in which access and control over these raw minerals funds the Western economy, allows government officials to tax miners and companies for access, giving them wealth, and allows warlords to have control and trade it on a legitimate market. All of this bleeds Congo dry. Please stop scrolling. The Democratic Republic of Congo is bleeding and we need to do something about it. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do just that. As a result of ongoing violence rooted in ethnic intolerance, neocolonialism, and corrupted representation, the DRC is home to the fourth largest group of displaced people in the world. Its people are suffering in ways unimaginable. We must also remember that the DRC is the largest provider of cobalt in the world, a mineral that is needed for modern technology, green energy, and other gadgets. New technology, new phones, new cars, they are all reliant on this mineral. The instability of this country allows people to gain power through access to cobalt. Therefore, the people of the DRC are being forced to mine cobalt with their bare hands. This includes women, children, and other incredibly vulnerable people. Over 5 million people have been displaced, and over 250,000 people are working in these mines. So what can we do? I need you to go on this link right now, congostrong.org. Please sign the petition. Pledge to educate yourself on what's going on. We need to raise awareness and put this on our political agendas. So please, if you want to help Congo, we need to talk about what's going on.
I need for people to understand what a free Congo really means. A free Congo is not only saving people from being exploited into extracting resources that are then taken to the West. It means dismantling decades of systems set up by oppressors. It means new leadership when it comes to the DRC government. And I believe the elections this year, and Felix is up for re-election. He's an incumbent. I know there's a couple of people that are running against him. I got to pray for that election. You also have a complete overhaul of the tech industry. Your faves over at Apple, Google, even Amazon, they play their part. As technology advances and we get new additions and upgrades of our phones, our laptops, our little devices, the actions of the oppressor and the suffering of Congo gets higher. A free Congo would also mean holding the West accountable, meaning we have to hold the U.S. accountable in their contributions. We have to hold the U.K. in consideration, France, Israel, also several countries in Africa that contributed to the genocide, either through their militia groups, through providing weapons, through smuggling resources themselves. So that's when I say, when it comes to freeing Congo, it is going to be a long, very drawn out fight because there is so much that we have to dismantle.
Let me remind you that you are not free until we are all free. So I'm going to be posting this video educating us on Congo and what is happening. And if you could share to spread the word, that'd be amazing.
An army of children are at the heart of the mining production. Wearing no shoes and in the most wretched conditions, Dorsan is ordered to retrieve the sack he's forgotten. There's an urgency now. The rains make this dangerous work even more risky, and Dorsan's told in no uncertain terms he risks a beating if he messes up again. Dorsan, with Richard beside him, have worked all day. They're 8 and 11 years old. Even this punishing work doesn't guarantee enough for food. Dorsan hasn't eaten for 2 days now. This is what helpless looks like, and he's one of the children making millions for multinational corporations in America and China whilst they suffer in squalor. For this, they'll get maybe 8 British pence a day.
There was a content creator on here who was talking about how no one ever learns about the history of the Congo or what was done to the Congolese people. But at least in my experience, we did learn about the Congo. We just learned about it in a way that no one should ever learn history. The commonly recognized flaw with how history is taught in American public school is that it's taught through a Eurocentric lens, which basically creates the sense that no part of the world was alive or thriving until Europe graced the land with its presence. And when you learn about Africa through a Eurocentric lens, it is essentially the equivalent of learning about Africa through the lens of death. And that especially intensifies when you focus in on the Congo, which is what my world history teacher did when I was in my sophomore year of high school, so I was like 14 or 15. So the only thing we ever learned about the Congo was what Leopold did to the Congolese. And I don't know how... It almost seemed as if the teacher got a kind of thrill out of seeing the shock and horror on our faces as he described the torture and the mutilation that was inflicted on the Congolese people as they were mining for rubber, and the maiming that would happen to their children if they did not meet their quota. And when you learn history like that, it is so shocking and it's so upsetting that it essentially destroys your mental willpower as a student to want to learn more, or to even have the mental clarity to ask questions about what happened next. And the teacher summarily wrapped the lesson up, saying that there was an investigative report that started spreading around Europe exposing Leopold, and that weakened Europe's support for Leopold. And that was the end of that. I think the teacher went on to start talking about World War I or something. And the only other context in which Africa was brought up was through the lens of the transatlantic slave trade. The crazy thing to think about is that that teacher had the opportunity to build a consciousness about what was happening to the Congo in the modern day. He could have connected the dots of history to our present-day reality in order to make us understand that we are all connected to the history of this world. But that's the problem with teaching history through the lens of horror, rather than grounding us in the humanity of a moment that's long since passed. What good is teaching history if you are constantly giving students the impression that history has nothing to do with the present, when reality reveals that nothing could be further from the truth? Everyone's constantly saying that if you don't take the time to learn history, then it's doomed to repeat itself. And yet somehow we're here. We've learned history, but still seem to find ourselves stuck in the process of being churned through yet another repeating cycle. What is the point of learning history if we never take the time to recognize the humanity and remember that we are all history in the making? Because that is what we are. It doesn't feel like that because we're living and we're breathing and we're very real to ourselves. But in the grand scheme of everything, we are all here for but a moment in time. And we will all be gone in the blink of an eye, remembered simply as history. But we get to decide what it is we will be remembered for. And since we all find ourselves collectively living through an unprecedented age of global connection and communication, does it not seem fitting that this is the moment in history where we as a collective finally achieve a truly free Congo and a truly free Palestine?
Yeah, you all know that we've been on this for a while, excuse me, and we'll never stop talking about it because Congo is bleeding and Sudan is bleeding. A whole lot is going on as it stands. Palestine is bleeding, and I am African and I will not forget my roots. So that's why I am still on this, and I am urging every one of you to render your voices wherever you want. Please post as much as you can, share with people, let people know what is going on. And we all are hope, because it is time to start holding people accountable. It is time we start holding the Westerners accountable for all the horrible things they are doing, especially in Sudan. Sorry, especially in Congo. Because, I mean, the whole thing is that how are they all doing all this? As you all can see, since everybody started free Congo, do this, free that, talking about Congo and creating more awareness of what is going on in Congo, I have not even heard any one of them, any of these colonizers, come out to address what is going on. So it really shows that they are as guilty as charged. So all they did was to use Rwanda military and Kenyan military to invade Congo. I mean, the condition of people in Congo as it stands are very horrible, horrifying. People are running away. Kids are being SA. I mean, kids that are supposed to be in school are not in school. You can imagine a country that is wealthy, rich in mineral resources, but cannot afford to feed themselves. So what happened to what comes out from their own country? The resources are being taken away by the Westerner, by United States, by British government, France, Israel, and a lot of them. And it is time we hold them accountable for everything going on, and we need an answer. We need to know. Please share as much as you can. Thank you so much for the support and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.